Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in. Today we are going to do the introduction to QHHT for all the new joiners and for all those who've been attending the sessions. So this introduction again and again would help us revalidate all our beliefs in this process and also, clear all the doubts that we have as we are going through the process. So here we are. Introduction to QHHT. This is found by Mother Dolores Cannon in 1960s, and then she's been working through this process until 2014 and beyond. So she's a clinical hypnotherapist. She started with her past life regressions, and then during the process she found that there are so many past lives kicking in, and then she kind of explored the process and reached to the subconscious and then the higher self. And then she understood that a lot of healing is happening through the subconscious, and there are so many instant healings. People used to come in wheelchairs and walk away without any help. So such was the healings that used to happen in her era. And that's why she has formulated this technique called QHHT, meaning Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, and given to the world. This wonderful technique that is coming from Mother will help us integrate our subconscious to the conscious. Meaning, there are a lot of things that our subconscious hold, and we in our conscious life are very logical. So there is a lot of gap between these two, and then which is why there are a lot of issues. That's what she has found. And through this process, we would be able to do that. And through this process, we would be able to find the root causes of the issues. And there are so many unanswered questions that people are having, and then they've been waiting for answers since their childhood, so many of them. And why me, and why this is happening to me? Most of the time people keep asking themselves. So there are so many such unanswered questions, and you would be able to find answers to these questions. And this actually, once you get into the process, you will be introduced to a very different world, the world of reality. And this world of reality will bring you close to God, or the higher self, or the source. Through this process, you will understand how how close they are to us, how willing they are to help us. All these things you would understand, and that is the new reality. Your energy shifts, your perception shifts, and then there will be a lot of awareness and understanding that comes in your life, that why is this situation in this time frame, or why are these new people coming into my life, or why this particular person is in my life. And why is he or she there since so many years on, and why there are so many whys that we have, and all those whys will be answered, and you will get the clear understanding of your current life. So this is, primarily about QHHT, because this is what happens when you get in touch with this divine process. And this divine process is given to the world by Mother Dolores Cannon. I'm not going so much into her life history because it's all available on Google. Okay. Give me a second. The next slide. Okay. The benefits of QHHT. Okay, so what do I get to know from this QHHT, and what now that I got to know what I can do, all these hi-fi terms of subconscious, conscious, and all these things, but my real-time issues are still the same. How can I be benefited, and where all I can get benefited? These are the things, and there is no limitation actually to the list, but the space is less, so I have to stop it here. So, but all the financial issues, you can go boost your spiritual growth. All your phobias, fears, depressions, any psychological disorders, all that can be healed. Any relationship issues, may that be with your friends, family, office, colleagues, anybody, Okay, with any stranger also, sometimes you get to, immediately feel that there is a relationship between them, and then it's not a very good one. So, and then it might turn up into a long-term relationship, and then issues, we don't know. So many things within this relationship can be healed. And there are, there will be a lot of blocks there. It's not like there will be, there are, we are tend to have lot of blocks, emotional, spiritual, or physical. In our physical body there could be many physical ailments, emotional ailments, which we do not know, that we would be suffering with anger, or we would be suffering with unknown fear, mm, scared about dark, scared about lizards, anything. Okay, and the spiritual issues, maybe my spiritual growth is stuck, I don't know what to do next. So how will I take my path, where to go, which master to choose, who is the right master? No idea. All these things will get, where you will definitely get answers. And the children's well-being, my children behavior is not, very much inclined to education. Maybe they should be put into the right track, or their health is not as per their age, so it's not as per what is expected out of their age. So all this well-being things, and what could be my, kids future, like what should they pursue, what is good for them, those kind of issues also can be answered, because it's a way to your well-being, to your kids well-being. And we all have a lot of departed ones. We all know that there is a sudden demise in the family, and then we are stuck there, we can't move forward, we don't know what to do next. With such departed souls, most of the times they themselves come, or if they are available, or the masters will come, the guidance, the divine guidance will come, and they tell you, don't worry, they're okay. That don't worry itself is a lot to us, that means a lot to us at that moment of time. So this kind of, the divine interaction, and the divine, and interacting with the departed souls, sometimes they themselves would come and they talk, and you get relieved, a lot of relief will come through that. All these things will, are possible with QHHT. And then ancestral issues, I have seen, I mean, there are many issues that people would come, that my mm, my grandfather might had this issue, and this is a pattern in my family, and this is repeating, and we don't know where to go, we don't know how to dissolve it, we don't know how to cut it there and not to repeat it further. Such are ancestral issues, and you get to get them out of your way and dissolve your cords, and that is what can be done here. And any physical ailment, you name it, it can be done through this process of QHHT. And that is why this is very important and very, very, very precious process that is given to the world. And not everybody would get to know it. If you get to know it, and if you are coming for such a process, then you are the one that are, who is chosen to go through such process. So I mean, that's what I believe. So that is these are the primary benefits. And if I go on to the process, okay, and how does this happen? Now that we know, yeah, this is QHHT, and this is found by Mother Dolores Cannon, and these are the benefits if we do it. And what is the process? How do we do this? Okay, the process of QHHT is actually very, very simple, but there are few steps for you to make understand. And it is like this: we all have experienced the state called somnambulistic state, which means neither sleep nor awake. Okay, so this is not dreaming as well. Okay, this is just, we go through this state every day 2 times. And one is before we go to bed, just we are slipping into the sleep state. Just before that state is somnambulistic state. Okay, and also before you wake up, slowly becoming awake and slowly still in sleep, that state is called somnambulistic state. So we experience this every day twice. We are aware but not slept. Okay, that is the state. So during the process of QHHT, you are put into that state of trance through visualization. There are techniques to put you into that state of trance through hypnosis, that is through visualization. And once you are gone into trance, then your soul gets unlocked, meaning you are going to start accessing the past lives. Okay, this past lives is exactly that particular past life where you have issue, not a random one. So where you access to that particular past life. And once that is done, you start accessing your past life and you start narrating it. Once the narration is complete, once this very important stages and situations of that life are being narrated by your own self, you do that, then there will be a phase where you look back into that life and understand what are the soul lessons. Why did you choose the way you are? Okay, why did you choose the people that you have in your life, and what have you done wrong in that life, and what karma that you are carrying to this current life or to the future or similar lives that you have planned for. So what is that? That is what you understand. You yourself will see that. Once that is done, then the divine is being invited for. The divine consciousness is being invited for, and then they would come. Here, I will talk about what is divine, what is higher self, all these things in the further slides. But for now, once that is done, this is step one. Step two is bringing the divine into you, inviting the divine into you, and this divine will talk through you. And what do they talk? They will talk why this lifetime is shown. What are the lessons that you are learning from this lifetime? You're supposed to learn from this lifetime. And what have you carried? What people, situations have you carried? And all these things will be described by this higher self. And they will also give you the guidance what to do next to come out of those situations if they are not good. What to do next if you are in a good situation, how to improve it, and all these things they would give. And so for some things they would just instantly heal, like if what to do if you have a physical ailment and you want to come out of it, and then they would definitely do an instant healing. And it, based on the karma balance and the receptiveness, all these healings would be happening. Okay, so that is what the higher self part will do. And then what do? They would answer all your questions. How do they answer? The practitioner will ask your questions to the higher self who is speaking through you. And you are talking, but it is your gut feeling, it could be your vision, or it could be your anything that you're hearing. There will be a lot of feelings that you would experience during this session as part of higher self talking through you, and they would answer all your questions. And at last, what do you have to do? Based on all the guidance answers, you will have to follow the guidance. This is, in short, the very important process of QHHT. Going forward, we will take Q&A to the end. Okay, please keep your questions handy. Now, as I said, you will be put into a somnambulistic state. And what is this state? How do we put you? This is not a non-traditional hypnosis. In hypnosis, what happens is you will be guided to exactly what we say. Meaning, when we say you see a tree, you see a tree. When we say you see a parrot, you see a parrot. Or when we say you go there, you go here, there is a guidance that is there. Here, that is very minimal. Very, very minimal. This is very different. There is a lot of freedom that is given to the soul to go and access the right root cause. That is why of all the lives that we have gone through, the right life is shown, because there is a lot of freedom to explore for the soul. Okay, and there is no harm to this soul, because it is traveling. You might think, oh man, what could happen to my soul because it is traveling here and there. There is no harm, because there will be divine protection that is applied on the soul, and the divine is always with you, and the soul unlocking happens also through the divine. Meaning, they would show you. It's not that you will go and search. They would show you the right life that you have to speak. And you will go, then unlock it, start talking. That's how it happens. And then here in this process, the practitioner is free to experiment, because this is not a traditional one. There are certain rules that we have to follow, and then we have to take them through a certain only through this process. There is nothing like that. So there is practitioner is free to experiment, which is why we are able to talk to so many divine beings. Okay, so this is the way that this is how it is different from a normal past life regression. Don't think this is a past life, simple past life regression. This is much, much, much beyond that. And now we'll learn about what is subconscious. Okay, so where are all these answers coming from? You might think that yes, there is a database. Where is that database? How is the soul going and tapping into it? Where is it? So all this data is stored in subconscious. And what is subconscious? Subconscious is a kind of database. Whatever you see, feel, talk, anything that gets stored into that without any filter. There is no logic. It will not, see this is good, bad, nothing. That will just take it and imprint it into the database. And what does the conscious mind do? The conscious mind always thinks and acts, right? What do? We don't go and, I mean, if we are operating through our conscious mind, we always operate through our conscious mind, right? This is the conscious mind that we are seeing, and we are thinking that what am I seeing? Is this right? What is this conscious mind? What is this diagram here? What is she talking all about? All these things are going behind your head, and all these things are the conscious actions. Okay, these are all defining thoughts. These are all actions with your awareness. Okay, and but what is happening behind this is also subconscious mind running. And what is it doing? It is imprinting all this data that you are seeing into it without any filter. Okay, that is why you will be able to think later, and then you can immediately bring this picture, because it is all there. Okay, now for example, if you are driving a car, every day you go in the same route, right? For 10 days, if you go in the same route, and if your subconscious mind is working and conscious mind is thinking something different, meaning they are not aligned, for example. Okay, so your conscious mind is thinking what to do after going to office. What to do? I am here, there is a lot of work, I am already in traffic, all these things this will do. But subconscious mind already has a map, because it has imprinted on it. It would go to your regular place without any distraction. That's how this works. And if you change the office, this happened to Jitendra once. If you change the office, and but you're thinking and thinking that you're going into the new office, but you ended up in the old office. Why? Because your subconscious map worked. So that's how the subconscious works. So the gist is, everything is there in subconscious, and that data is not filtered. If it is filtered, manipulated, then you can have a doubt on that data. But this data is not filtered. Okay, so you access it, see what it is, and act upon it. That's how it is. And my dear friends, We always think that we work with our conscious mind 90%, but it is other way around. We always work with our conscious mind only 10%. The rest of it is handled by the subconscious. Okay, every day you take bath. You don't think that I have to wash my head first, then face first, then this. Nothing like that. It happens automatically. All your habits are already there. You don't have to repeat it, think and do it again and again. Okay, it automatically happens. If a coffee cup is put in front of you, nobody has to tell you that you have to drink, you will drink it. Okay, and there is an intuition, like you may suddenly feel that somebody is coming home, there is no milk at home, I'll go get one packet of milk. This often happens, right? Then you ended up having somebody at home. This also often happens. So this is the intuition, and this intuition is also coming from the subconscious. You feel that most of the times this right wrong thinking, okay, this right wrong thinking happens through your logical mind, but for your subconscious mind there is nothing like that. Everything you put in front of it, it just takes it, no filter. Okay, so this is what the subconscious mind is, and this is where we extract all the data that is needed for us, and the soul unlocking happens to this. Okay, and we'll have to know about this karma and past life, because we are talking the process that we are put into this somnambulistic state, and there is this subconscious mind where the data is there and we are accessing it. Good. Now, what kind of data are we accessing? Right? The karmic data. The karma is nothing but action. Okay, kriya is action, karma is what it is like. That is an unfinished business, is what I would say. Be it good, bad, or anything, it is an unfinished business between two people or two souls. Soul is eternal. We all have been telling this through Bhagavad Gita or any other Vedas or anything, any thing that you touch, every religion you touch, everybody would say soul is eternal. So when soul is eternal, this is the costume of the soul. The body, the physical body, is the costume of the soul. So when you know that this costume of the soul is ought to change, it changes every now and then as it's progressing. Then you know there is some memory that is retained to this soul, or that is entangled to this soul. And that memory of the soul has again so many long lasting or so many things or businesses that are settled, unsettled, good, bad, people, situations, anything that are there. Okay, so now unlocking, and then this karma that is entangled to the soul, it has to work on lifetime after lifetime, lifetime after lifetime, until that balance is closed. Okay, so until this is closed, we know that this costume has to change, and then we have to come again and again and again, and we have to work through this, and there is no expiry to this. Then through this process, of QHHT, going into the somnambulistic state, going into the subconscious, knowing the karma would really help you cut your future lives, isn't it? So if I know my karma, that I have to teach this QHHT to you the way I am doing it now, then I don't have to do it again. I'm done with this, right? Then if I don't do this now, then I may have to do it again after some time. But there is no expiry to this. I'll have to do it at some point. So knowing this will help you reduce your future lives and confine your future lives and confine your karmas here and clear them off as soon as possible. That is the ultimate goal of the soul, to reach to the divine. Many say that, yeah, why do I have to know my past life? Isn't it my current life sufficient? Isn't it focusing on my current life good enough? Yes, it is good enough. So it is good enough, but it is good. If you listen to me, it is good. It is not better. It can be better. It can be best. right? So why not go to the state of best when you are not happy with good? Or if you are happy with good, then you no harm in exploring and going to the best, right? That is the ultimate goal of the soul, to reach the creator, to merge with the creator, is to clear off the karma. That is why we have to unlock the karma. And there are many situations in life that we know that these situations why I am suffering. Okay, if you know the karma, then you can clear it. If you don't know, you can't clear it. You could be suffering from spondylitis, for example, for 10 years. And you, for example, I'm just taking an example, you tap into the past life and you know that you have hit somebody on their neck, and then knowing that, and you come back and say I'm sorry to them. It's not physically not really needed, but you say that astrally or mentally, that message definitely go to them, and there is a karmic balance that starts building up, and then your spondylitis would start healing. So this is why you need to know. And if I have a spiritual gift, for example, and I am doing healing, and I don't know what is my spiritual gift right now. If I go to my past life, tap into that past life where my spiritual gifts are, I can bring them here into my current life, into my healing, or incorporate into my healing, and then do my healing much better. And the benefits are much beyond than what we think they could be. Okay, and the spiritual growth can take the escalator path. Okay, it could take the escalator path. There are ways, like I may choose to learn step by step, or I may take an escalator and go faster, grow faster. That is up to me, and that is my own choice, and my own choice should always be wise. And that wise choice is to unlock your karma and your past life. There is not always bad karma, there is good karma also. Okay, then the good karma is like this. For example, I may have to, in one of my sessions itself, I'm telling you, I may have to teach some mudras to people for their well-being, and that is given to me by some serpent goddess to teach the humanity. Then it is a good karma that I am carrying, and my karma is that good karma is getting multifold as I am teaching those mudras to the humanity, to the mankind, right? That's how it is very important to understand the karma and past life, and tapping into the past life through this process. And if that is all about the karma and past life, and if I go forward, what would happen? Okay, so okay, I have seen the past life. Now then, what is the outcome? Many of the times, if you are coming with predefined notion of yourself, you may get shattered in terms of your belief system. Oh, I thought this person is this, they have done this to me, but in this past life, they're actually, he or she is my mother or father. They were actually my, the very loved ones, and they have come here to just help me. I didn't realize that, but I realized that now. And there is a lot of, you know confusion and internal conflict that might be there, because that is how you are welcomed, or that is how you are introduced to the new reality, and this is the actual reality. Okay, and this is the appropriate time. It's not that until so much time in my life I've been suffering. Now that it is time that I am being shown this, meaning this is the time for me to grow. So take this instruction and move forward, and there will be a lot of benefit to the individual. Definitely there will be a lot of information, as I just said, that the karma and the past life, that the mudras thing, there will be, that is a benefit to the individual. And then you can also think that, like, yeah, this person is undergoing through a hemorrhoid or something, but during the process, during the unlocking or karmic healing that's happening by the higher self, this the doctors and everything are kept aside for some time. That healing is done, the hemorrhoid is removed, and then the doctors are brought back to the place, and then the person is left, and they go and they test, and there is no hemorrhoid. Very science here. This is beyond science. This is much, much, much beyond of what we experience as a soul and as a higher self descendant in the session, and then a patient in the hospital. So there is a lot of difference. So yeah, there will be a lot of stretch, and sometimes you may think that your conscious mind, the 10% starts working and says that this all seem illogical to me, this is not rational, this is not as per what I know things would work. So you must understand now that your higher self or your soul or everybody there out there know the bigger picture much more than what you can see through this physical eyes. There is a limitation to these physical eyes. Many of times, this is in my personal experience, many of times they would be showing you that the practitioner don't know, only you know that the practitioner may not know. Okay, so such things do also happen, and this is the outcome of unlocking the soul and looking into karma and past life. Okay, this will change your perspective to the world, change your perspective to your family, friends, people, situations. And now we'll talk about what is this higher self and where does this sit, and what do we call this higher self or higher consciousness. Okay, this one has come from the creator, and from this creator we all, I mean, from this higher self. Okay, we'll make it simple: creator, higher self, and us. Let's keep it simple. Okay, creator, and then this higher self, there is a gap. If you see, there is a gap, and then us. These are our immediate over souls. Okay, the very internal gut or core of us, who holds all the truth of our own soul. The truth and the essence, core essence of our true soul is nothing but higher self. And this higher self will coordinate with the rest of the divine world here, between the creator and the higher self, and brings back the healings and solutions and everything to us. They have all the access, and we have the limited access. They have all the access. The soul, when this interacts with the higher self, the bridge is formed, and this bridge will interact with the rest of the divine and brings back the right appropriate solutions. Okay, we refer to this, once this bridge is created between the soul and the higher self, what happens in your life? You'll start seeing many things, like you start accepting the people the way they are. You don't react the way you used to react. Now you take a step back and see the things with a lot of love, and maybe you start seeing the things like a third person, witnessing them rather than getting affected. These things would definitely happen, and you constantly start talking, or as just now Vijay said, constantly interacting with them, because you are connected. That bridge is already there now. Okay, and you stop judging others, and you stop judging yourself also, and the very best thing that happens to you is you start loving yourself. You start accepting yourself the way you are, and then others, and you become more patient and tolerant. Okay, you will see the purest form of yourself, keeping the ego aside. And why do we always say that we have to connect to our higher self, is because this is a very important bridge. If this bridge is created, then you will have access to the rest of the universe. So this bridge should never become weak. So it is not that everybody has a weak one. Most of us, just you meditate, or because of your past good karma, You ought to get these messages from higher self. How do you know? How do you distinguish between your ego self and higher self? How do you know? When you are cooking, suddenly a flash of a message comes into your mind. No, you should not do this. This is not good for you. This is good for you. Then that is coming from higher self. If you are thinking and something coming into you, then that is ego self. But if you are not thinking about it and suddenly a flash comes, they are just dropping that thought into your head, then that is higher self. To build that connect is very, very important. And during the process of QHHT, that connect will become stronger and stronger and stronger as you go through session after the session, session after the session. Okay. So that is all about higher self. We refer to them to the higher conscious or higher self throughout this process. And we said like, who is this rest of the divine? And the rest of the divine are so many masters. Okay, so many masters. You call it Michael, you call it Mahatar Babaji, you call it Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Paramacharya, or Meher Baba, or Jesus, or Muhammad Prophet. And anybody, there is, this list that we know is very limited. There is a very, very, very long list which we do not know. We got to know many of these masters by interacting with them, not by, like, there is a tribal master who had come today. We have never heard of his name. We have never known about him. Okay. At the same time, we have Jesus in the evening. So it's not that only the people or the divine that we interact would come always, nothing like that. The divine who is necessary for you would come. Okay, the necessary for you would come, and there is no invitation to them. Particular naming invitation would never happen. We would always say, whoever is needed for this person, to help this person, ready to help this person, please come and do. And please, my dear friends, listen to it, that the divine is just a thought away. They're not so far. They're not just in the idols or temples. They are just a thought away. We are growing. So let our thoughts also grow, and let our thoughts be much closer to the divine. They're always help. They're always ready to help and guide us. They're just beside us. They're waiting for our calling. If we call them, they can come. They cannot just come. Okay? If we call them, they can come. So that is what it is all about, the divine help. And this divine help, I mean, if you have a friend and you know that this is your support, okay, and that support is this much limited, okay, that particular friend cannot support the whole issues of your life, right? They may be supporting one or two. And if you have a bunch of friends, then they would be supporting to some extent. They cannot take the responsibility of you, right? But this divine help is such a support who is not equal to any human support, much beyond that, who takes your responsibility, holds your finger, and walks you, helps you walk the way. So, and that is why during this process, there are no secrets. There are no secrets, but there is nothing that goes out of facilitator, and there is nothing that goes out of the session. No judging. Okay. And these people would suggest, or this divine would suggest definitely what is best for you. Okay, you may be thinking illogical or something like that, but that is best for you at that moment, because you can see with your physical eyes only this much, this your wavelength is this much, and you can see only this much. They have a bigger picture. They know much better than you and what is best for you. Okay, and that is what is the divine help. And being a facilitator, we just bridge you with the divine. There is nothing more that we do, but we just definitely know that this works. That's it. And then what happens through this divine? What kind of help in terms of healing? Okay, this is in terms of physical reality or physical ailments. They will check if If a person has come up with cancer, for example, I'm just taking a cancer as an example, they have come up with cancer, then they will see if the instant healing happens, yes, no, okay, or I will not take cancer now because it has associated with a lot of karma. I will say hemorrhoid or a cyst, for example. They see if the cyst exists and if that instant healing can happen, yes, no pain, no medicine, no surgeries, they'll just remove it and keep it aside. The client is healed, and that gets shown in the reports as well many a times. And then if they are not suitable for healing, okay, even if that cyst, if they are not suitable for healing, then they would give some instructions, say give the time frame or give the instructions, and then say you have to follow this and come for next healing on so and so date, and so all these things will be guided. There will be guidance, you implement them, and then the healing happens gradually, and then it also gets healed, but it takes time. But if it is suitable for healing, and they would remove it. Even if it is cancer, they would just remove it. They have done the backbone replacements. They have done the stomach and liver replacements. They have done the kneecap replacements. They have done so many replacements that is needed for a person. If that can be done, suitable means what? Suitable means based on their karma, based on their surrender. Okay, those are the criteria based on how compassionate they are to help others as well. There are the criteria there. What is their karma? That is the first criteria. So there are, based on the criteria, they'll decide, the higher self will decide, or higher conscious will say what can be done best for them. But there is nothing that it cannot be healed, or like it will just take time, but it get healed. And they have all the ability, the subconscious or super conscious or higher self or higher conscious have all the ability, and they don't remove just like that. They'll tell you why has it happened, and it has come from your current life or past life, or are you moving this to your future life. They will tell that, only then they'll remove. Okay, and then now this karma again says that once you get to know that you have this particular disease, okay, or once you have this particular karma, once knowing about it itself heals by 50%, and the rest 50% is experienced, and is being that why a particular emotion is being experienced, all that is being told to you by the higher self, and then it is removed by the subconscious or higher conscious or higher self. Okay, and it is actually very simple, quick, okay, and instantaneously it would happen, but we make our lives complicated. That is why we become sick. For example, that I have a thought, for example, okay, and I have a thought of hatred, and it starts here in my aura. It doesn't directly come to my physical body. Okay, it starts in my aura. It slowly, as the thought becomes stronger and stronger, it slowly starts penetrating my aura, and then slowly starts hitting my physical body. But then as it started here, it's already registered in the subconscious. Okay, so the subconscious have all this information, so it would tell you, or the soul or the higher self, or the superconscious, whoever is coordinating with you, they would tell you why has this occurred, and then knowing about it is half cure. And you're not supposed to be sick. This physical body is not supposed to be sick. It is not made to be sick. Actually, it is made to be healthy. But our thoughts, be very watchful of thought, because it is creating reality instantaneously. Okay. So the primary goal of QHHT is basically not to, convince that, or making you ready to accept, you come and take this or nothing like that. It is only that, see, there is this kind of a process, and then, this is how the technique works, and this is how you all can be benefited. Maybe this is how you can achieve better results and cut your karmas and cut your past lives, know your spiritual gifts, move ahead, know your life purpose, because this life is only because we have planned it the way it is. So know about it clearly and make a better plan. So that is why we brought this to you, we brought this forward to you, and this is again through the guidance of the Divine Mother Dolores that take it to the people, so that it is, it is the need of the hour that people has to know about it, which is why we are taking it forward to you. Okay, this is just a platform that we are bringing it forward to you for your own benefit. There is no force. Okay, now this is all about QHHT, and now we'll talk about what is improvised QHHT and what have we improved from what Mother Dolores has given us. During the time of COVID, there are a lot of healings that were needed, and there were most of the patients were ICUs, and there is no time for them to come back here and get healed. Okay, and then Mother Dolores herself has come, and then she has suggested to prepare a surrogate, meaning she has asked to actually improvise the process the way, in such a way that the actual person, that if that person cannot come, the surrogate or the person who is ready to offer help, they can access the higher self or the soul of the person in the ICU and get the treatment done. So many of the ICUs, people in the ICU patients were treated in such ways by Jitendra and team, and then there are many things that have improved, and that is one. And the second very important thing is this was never offline, this was never online. Now this is being made online and offline for those who are within the city, but for all the people across the globe, it is online. Online is also available, but this is not in the official QHHT. This is not in the official QHHT or the surrogate process, but this actually helped us to improve the process of QHHT to be more reachable to the people, to be more helping to the people. And that is also coming from the divine itself. So in COVID itself, there were so many, angels or healers that had taken birth. Okay, suppose for example the Dan healers who have taken birth, and these healers are nobody but these are the part of higher self, and then there are healers above, beyond the higher self coordinates with them and does the healing. And then this happened that Dan healers came and they themselves healed the COVID people, and most of them have been come out of ICUs with the help of Dan healers. And they are not physical people. Don't think that they are physical people. Okay, and they are only created for the COVID thing. And there are so many angels who are taking birth every now and then, because every angel is a level, and then it graduates, and the new angels come, and then the other angels graduate. So there are angels who take birth and who come forward to during these sessions and help us. So this is all new, because in the traditional QHHT, they would only call the subconscious, or they would only call the Jesus and the respective team. But for us in India, it is vast. We call Jesus, we call everybody. We don't call by name, we call whoever is ready to help, come and help, which is why we have thousands of Hindu gods, thousands of Hindu goddesses. They're all ready to help. And this is also, in the improvised format that we have now. So this is what we have improvised in this QHHT process. And the team in India, we have very few QHHT practitioners, Ravikanji, Jitendra ji, and Sridevi Garu. And I mean, I would call myself as an upcoming practitioner, and then we are all kind of being a bridge to the divine world. There is nothing that we are doing to you by, this is not any different kind of practice. It's purely divine practice. Help you deep dive into the divine world, help you deep dive into your past lives, bring the root causes, help yourselves to become a better version of yourself. Okay, so this is the T that you can call as QHHT T. And then this is the miracle checklist that I would call, because this is very important for me, because when does this miracles happen? What is a miracle? For me, miracle is that I have not experienced yet. Okay, that is a miracle to me. Meaning, I have experienced eating with my fingers like this, and chewing and swallowing. Okay, what if everything goes inside me, just like this, like a bakasura? That is a miracle to me. Okay, this jokes apart. So these miracles are the things that we haven't experienced yet. Meaning, there is a cyst example. I keep taking the cyst example. If the cyst is disappeared through the healing process in the session, and that's a miracle, because that's not a routine experience, right? That's a miracle. Okay, and when does such things happen? When you allow the divine presence to work upon you, when you are open for the divine, when you keep your aura closed, the divine cannot penetrate. Okay, when you keep your aura with negative things, then the divine cannot penetrate. When you don't have faith, then the divine cannot penetrate into your aura, or cannot put a thought into your mind, or cannot let the things that should happen for you. And who is stopping that? You yourself. So be open to the divine presence. Accept the divine presence is around you. Many of the cases are too good to believe. One is such Radha Devi case, which we had experienced 2 days back. It is too good to believe. We didn't sleep because of that, feeling of Radha Devi. So it is too good to believe, but that is a miracle to us. Okay, and when that happened to us, when we are open to it, when we kept our ego self aside and connected, we have to do a lot of unlearning. If you are coming from a different modality, that's what I learned. We have to do a lot of unlearning of the process that we have already predefined and created, because there is no space for the divine to put a new thing into your head. So keep everything aside, keep it open, and when you come, the miracles are ought to happen to you. Okay, and when you believe that this is possible, that my dear God, he would definitely take care of me. If that kind of faith, and if you have that divine surrender within you, then definitely it would definitely help you. And that's when you start experiencing the miracles. And surrender all your fears and doubts in the divine presence. Don't put any doubts when you go into the session. Then you've experienced the divine full-fledgedly. Otherwise, there is parts coming in and going in. Okay, so you have to align yourself. You have to align through the thought process to let miracles happen to you in your life. And this is the miracle checklist that I would say. So gratitude and surrender to the Divine Mother, Dolores, who have given this divine process to the world. And thank you so much, Jitendra.